Hey, here I am. No, this is actually me. This is when fall of 1977 in Texas in the United States. So here I am. And a lot of these pictures I know have turned red. That happened back to a lot of these pictures back then. And this book reeks of old cigarette smoke you would not believe. My mother was a smoker. And you put your nose down on these pages and you can tell it. So here I am at, I guess I'm 4 years old. I mean, very close to my daughter. And so this is a holiday we have in the United States. We call it Thanksgiving. And what we do is have the family come over and we make a big meal, usually ham or turkey being the main one. And then we all, everybody brings a dish, or in this case, Mom cooked it all. And there was our dinner. I guess we usually had turkey, so I'm pretty sure that's turkey. There I am. And check these things out. That was a kitschy thing that people used to do in the 70s. You could knit those and make, well, I don't even know what the hell that is. I think it's a candle, actually. Like, ooh, burn the house down candle. And, yeah, you light that, and then I guess when it starts to go out, it just catches the little straps on fire. I don't know. We weren't as safe in the 70s, you guys. It was just like there were no seat belts in the cars, that sort of thing. We're lucky any of us survived. And check me out with the hairdo. My mom cut them bangs. Can you tell? They're not even straight. Okay, well, whatever. And here's the entire ensemble outfit. This is so 70s. That's the style. Little bell-bottom pants. Look, they have little pinstripes on them. They do. Little pinstripes. And this little hippie top. What's my mom got going on in the kitchen? So they used to put those real nice wood cabinets. They had real nice wood cabinets all over the house. I'm sitting up on that bar. There's me and my brothers, and my brother's wife, and my nephew. Outside on the porch on Thanksgiving. Of course, we have a pool table. My nephew now is the head of a big billiard organization, big billiard tournament organization. And he's like the main guy now. And he learned to play pool on our pool table. It's really cool. Look at that. I believe that is a velvet painting. It is. Very popular back in the 70s, a velvet painting. What the heck is that? I mean, we had some styles going on. Those are old slides. So you put that on the bookshelf. Slides. You put the projector screen up and do the slides. Anyway, that's pretty cool. And I just want to get through a short part of this. I'm not going. I've always been a dog lover. This is Vipper, named after the RCA dog, Nipper. And there he is as a poopy. And I'm very happy. How cute I am. A little chubby thing with a chubby puppy. And this is my friend from across the street. My first friend I ever had as a kid growing up. We played many hours together. This picture reminds me a lot of my daughter. Look at that face. Does that look like a little Skylar K? And since the picture's red, it also looks like I have red hair. I don't. I'm a cotton top. This is Christmas Eve. So my cousins would come over on Christmas Eve. And we'd get dressed up. This is 1970s Christmas. It's just what we did. We wore nice clothes. We wore nice dresses. And I'm sorry these pictures are faded. Try to see what some of these toys are in here. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Let me know. I don't know. But we'd always get to open one gift, and we'd get excited, and us girls would just run around, play, and then we'd pretend maybe Santa was coming, ring some jingle bells. And I'm a big Santa fan now. I think if I were to have kids, I wouldn't do the whole Santa thing, but anyway, we'd have a Christmas Eve party and open up a gift or two with different family members so we could all, what is this? It is, I don't know, like something to do with Cinderella. That was real big back then. Some of these movies, they came out in the 50s, but they came out in the 70s, I believe, in the movie theaters. Actually, you know, I used to love going to Disney movies as a kid. And I got up at 6 a.m., like all kids do, to come see your toys from Santa. And we have a Christmas tree. That same Christmas tree, my mother had that same Christmas tree till she died. I mean, there was like no needles left on it. It was really sad. It was super sad looking. That's a big wheel. That was a big toy back in the 70s and when they first came out. So it's plastic and you couldn't hardly go on it. Like you would turn that wheel and it'd just turn against the concrete. And if you got it going downhill, you could pull that blue lever there in the back and it would spin out. But yeah, I got a Hot Wheel. And then this is some Disney roller coaster, kind of like a car track thing. Toys from the 70s. That is the original Light Bright. I got a Light Bright. We stick these little plastic pegs in this thing, put a sheet of paper up there, stick it through the paper, and the light will shine through the plastic pegs. And most people know about that now. They still make them. But the thing is, when I remember my Christmases like being huge and a lot of stuff, and you know, when I go back and look at the photos, it's not really all that much stuff. Like, not compared to children today. You know, like, it wasn't as much stuff as I remembered. Look at that crazy 70s painting on the wall. I got everything I wanted. Look at my mother's spelling. Oh my gosh. She was the job that she got. I cannot believe her spelling is horrible. So please, she did not graduate high school. And it shows. Those stockings are full of candy. Like, that's another thing. So we'd fill it all up with candy and different Christmas treats and everything. And that was a big part of Christmas, getting a bunch of candy. Like, kids we didn't get candy, like, all the time. Like, it wasn't just you got a bag of candy from the grocery store, had it in the house all the time. Like, we got candy, like, a lot less, I think, than kids get candy now. So when you got a lot, like a stocking full at Christmas or Thanksgiving, or got some Halloween candy, that was a whole lot of candy for us. And see, this is a big Christmas with 2 baby dolls. I probably didn't even like baby dolls. But very grateful for it anyway. The pajamas and the clothes. We're opening gifts over here. And then this purple couch. Look at that purple couch. That's me pretending to be asleep. I actually remember when that photo was taken, I was not asleep. I'm just pretending. But I'm still smiling. And then it snowed, and this is 1977 snow. It does not snow very much here in Texas, so this is a big deal, and I super loved going outside in the snow. That was like, that's what we did. Like, we went outside, guys. We didn't just sit in screens. You know, snow was fun. It was like we were out in it as long as we could be out in it, and we make snowmen. It snowed a whole lot that year, a whole bunch. My dog, and then more snow pictures. And look at there, my parents were liberal back in the 70s, and they had that growing in a peace sign up there up until the 80s, I believe. And when they did it, when they first bought the house, I believe in 1968, the neighborhood was a little conservative, and they did not like the peace sign. And they would often get nasty letters and things telling them to take that sign down, if you can believe it or not. One day people just were like so pro-Vietnam War and everything that they would fight you on that. So that kind of lets you know the politics, has always been raging and going on. And even if you're for, no war, you still would have haters and judgmental people back then, and thought that you were, anti-American, and you hated the troops because you weren't for the war. There's nothing wrong with being anti-war. There's really not. We need to bring a little more of that back, in my opinion. And, you can tell my parents, they were very proud of this vine sculpture on the front of the house, because they featured it here in the pictures. And my dad would go out there with the thing and he would chop that by hand and cut it and make sure it stayed that way for I don't know how long, up until into the 80s, I believe. And you can see somebody made an igloo over at the park. That was pretty fun. Like, it never snows here. It never makes that much snow here. So that's why we have a lot. There's like literally more pictures of us playing in the snow than there was of Christmas. That's how much snow we do not get here, and how special and important it is. That's hilarious. Like 4 times as many. Now this is a picture, I remember this day. The day that I went to, this is my friend Billy that also lived across the street. And we went to the black church. And it was quite a bit different than the church I was used to going to. They were singing and standing up, and it was loud. And it was actually a whole lot of fun. Like, at first I was a little intimidated because, like your church, it's all stuffy, and your mom, gets on to you all the time about talking in church and blah, 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 and behaving and everything. And here this church is just going absolutely wild up in there. Singing and dancing and hallelujah, and it was okay to stand up. And I went home thinking, Mom, this is great. I don't know why we go to the church we go to. We need to go to Billy's church. It's a lot more fun. Another story about Billy is him and I would go. I used to love to go roller skating, and so did Billy. So they would take us all, me, Billy, and Otis, up to the skating rink to go skating on the weekends. And then when it was couple skate, we were just kids. We would hold hands and skate together. And people would be so even ugly then about, a little white girl and a little black girl skating together holding hands. But we were literally best friends. Like, I spent my entire childhood from birth until high school with these 2 fellas here. Like, we was babies. We was all in diapers together. We was all learning to ride bikes together. We all learned how to swim together. We all learned how to walk together. We all, watched Dukes of Hazzard and Knight Rider together and rode bikes together. And this was my childhood friend in the 70s. So that's just the way it was then. So you can see little man and his little... Oh, he's dressed so tight. Look at him. His mom's got him all. We dressed up for church. You did not go to church in your pajamas. You didn't. You went to church in your best clothes. This is your nicest stuff. Like, y'all went to Sears department to get this with your mom. And, like, it was a big deal. And of course, I think that's a little short, Mom. But I did look cute. That's a pretty cute outfit. But that's a little short. I got my knees showing. That's a little short for church, but... I'm dressed cute too. I'm a little kid. So, and it was still snowing that day, but we still went to church. And man, did I ever have a blast. I remember that. It's in January. Those icicles that were coming off the house. And then that's that same picture, just smaller. And then my mom, of course, took the opportunity to take that photo. And that's about it. I know it's pretty lame and pretty boring. That's inside of my room when I was a kid. That's what it looked like. I don't even know what I got in there. What I got in there? Curious George. I'll be on the lookout for these things as a reseller. You find these things out in the wild still intact. They might fetch some money. You just never know. I don't even know what that is. No clue. No clue. Don't remember at all. Something I got in a box. Don't know what that is. Probably I had toys just in that box. It looks like it. Just stuff piled in there. And here I am at the dining room table, probably eating something Mama made. And that's about it for today. Thanks for stopping in and listening to all this crazy dumb shit that, I rant on about. But anyway, if your kids, I love and miss you every day. And I hope it doesn't go 10 years. You're always welcome to call. You're welcome, I love and miss you. That's all I have to say. Until next time, bye. Bye-bye.